Hi, welcome to Gallery 27 Cork Street and my exhibition called Hammered. People always ask me very similar questions. You know, when we're talking, I mean, people sort of say, well, how long do they take? Well, the longest piece that's taken to date was Portrait of David's Children. That just went on and on and on, and although it was only 27,000 nails, it was such a complex piece with the shimmer in the hair and the wisps of blonde hair running sideways through the hair. It was just a very difficult piece. The baby's eyes and the baby's wispy hair in nails was just very difficult to capture. The carpenter's hand, I knew straight away when we were walking on the beach in Scarborough on a sort of a blustery autumn day. My daughter Leah found this rusty old ship's nail. I don't know how old it is, but it must be pretty old. It'd been on the bottom of the sea and it had encrusted with stones and sand and actually grown in size. And I took it off her and said, look, I'll look after that for you. Put it away. I knew straight away as I was driving home that I was going to do Hand of the Carpenter, Stigmata, or crucifixion, whatever you want to call it. I knew that nail would look fantastic as the centerpiece to such a sculpture. Of course, it took 4 years before I felt that my technique was up to doing the sculpture justice, and B, I wanted really to have it complete for my first London exhibition. When I finally finished the hand, I realised that as big as the nail was, probably I would say around the size of the width of a 50p piece, it wasn't big enough to do the sculpture justice. And so I then sort of made the decision to sculpture a bigger 13-inch version, which was then the head was 4 times or 5 times the size of the original, and that sat quite nicely in the sculpture. I had it cast in iron and distressed it and rusted it, and at the same time I thought that the whole thing would make a nice sculpture in itself. So there was a complete 13-inch version of the nail, distressed and hand fettled. The work in the downstairs gallery was a mix of early nail sculptures and also paintings. A lot of people liked Poison, which was the long thin panel, the black and white one, which of course looks like complete abstract. I took a little bit of Jackson Pollock in what I was doing, but actually it's about music, it's about notes, it's about Alice Cooper, and it has the part of the Alice Cooper sound wave to Poison running through it. And if you stare at it long enough, you'll see guitars and trumpets and saxophones. Splash 1 is again a series of work with a very unique paint. That particular one is a pearlized paint. Again, it's very controlled. It looks like I've just thrown the paint on there, but in my freakishly controlled way, even though it looks like a complete splash, I've actually tried to control exactly where all the paint has gone. I certainly like the balance of the piece. Sunflowers and the White Lilies, again another series very much taking a Jackson Pollock approach, but painting still life, so it stops me from becoming too detailed and creating a photo, in effect, painting a photo, which is not the intention. It's to allow the paint to run. There are moments when I feel completely frustrated because the paint has run and merged into itself, but that actually gives the whole painting its quality, and I have to accept that I've created a way of doing it that is slightly out of my control. So as best as I can, there's not a single brush going into the work, and it all has to be finished within the day. So I just work very, very feverishly to complete a picture in one day.